Let's face it, the fundamental rules of money, work, and building wealth are being completely rewritten by technology. The playbook you were handed about how to earn a living and plan for the future, it's kinda obsolete now. So we're gonna break down what's really happening, and more importantly, what it all means for you.
Just take a look at this timeline for a second. For literally thousands of years, money was a physical thing, something you could hold, whether it was a bag of grain, a gold coin, or a paper bill. But look at that acceleration at the end. It's wild, right? In just the last couple of decades, money has totally transformed into pure information. It's just digital code moving around the world at the speed of light.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start by digging into the DNA of money itself. Then, we'll get into the guts of how today's financial system actually works. After that, we'll look at the big battle brewing over the next digital dollar. And finally, we'll wrap up with a practical toolkit to help you thrive in this new economy. Okay, first up, before we can even talk about where we're going, we have to get back to basics and ask a really simple question. What even is money, really? Because the answer to that has changed a lot. This right here, this is probably the most important concept to get. There are really two types of money. Commodity money, like a gold coin, is valuable because the gold itself is valuable. It is the value. But fiat money, like the dollar bill in your wallet, only represents value. It's just paper or a number on a screen that we all agree to accept because we trust the government that issues it. So how did we get from one to the other? Well, it didn't happen overnight. For about 100 years, the gold standard acted as an anchor, tying money to something real. Then, after World War II, the US dollar became king, but it was still tied to gold. And then, 1971 happened. The cord was cut. President Nixon officially unplugged the dollar from gold, and suddenly, for the first time in modern history, all major currencies were floating free. Now, on one hand, this gave governments incredible power to respond to economic crises. But it also opened up a huge can of worms. This quote really gets to the heart of the criticism. If there's no physical anchor, what stops a government from just creating money forever? Where are the brakes? Okay, so what does this new unlimited flexibility actually look like in the real world? Let's pop the hood on the modern money machine that we all live in today. In the system we have now, central banks like the Federal Reserve have a kind of superpower. They can basically create money from nothing. They can do this to stimulate the economy, or, as this quote puts it, act like a printing press to fund government spending. It's a way to inject cash right into the system when things get slow. And if you want to see just how powerful that tool is, look at this number. This is what happened after the 2008 financial crisis. The Fed just hit the accelerator. We're talking about an increase of almost $3 trillion to the core money supply in only 8 years. That kind of expansion is just mind-boggling. So what's the downside to all this money creation? Well, one word, inflation. Think about it. If there's way more money out there, but the amount of stuff to buy stays the same, what happens? Prices have to go up. It means that dollar you saved last year buys you less coffee, less gas, less everything this year. Its buying power goes down. So that's the system we're in now, money built on trust, not gold. But the story doesn't end there, not even close. Because, like everything else, money is going digital. And that shift is setting the stage for the next great battle. This next evolution is happening right now as we speak, and it's sparking this really fascinating fight between two totally different ideas about what our digital cash should look like. And here are the two main contenders. In one corner, you have cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, decentralized, volatile, and treated more like a digital asset, kind of like digital gold. And in the other corner, you have the government's response, central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. These are basically just an official, digital version of the dollar. The simplest way to think about it is this. Crypto is an asset. A CBDC is designed to be money. And don't think for a second this is just some niche tech thing. It is a full-on global race. Just look at this number. More than 130 countries, representing pretty much the entire global economy, are already working on this. And this isn't some far-off future either. This stuff is already out in the wild. China's digital yuan has been live for years. India is running its own pilots. The Bahamas is using its sand dollar to help people on remote islands get access to banking. Every country is tailoring its version to its own specific needs. Okay, so programmable money, AI reshaping jobs, it's a bit overwhelming, right? So let's bring all this back home.
What does this disruption actually mean for the most important economy there is, your own? How do you not just get by, but actually win in this new game?
Well, in an economy that runs on code and data, it's pretty simple. The people who can build and manage that code and data get paid a lot. Just look at the salaries for jobs in things like AI, data science, and cybersecurity. These skills command a huge premium because they solve the biggest, most expensive problems that businesses are facing right now. And I absolutely love this quote because it gets to the real secret sauce here. It's not about just getting one big promotion. The magic is in stacking those wins year after year. A 10% raise might not feel life-changing on its own, but you do that for a decade, it's a total game changer. That's the power of compounding your income.
And this is why it matters so much, because life is expensive. 20 grand a year for daycare? I mean, that is a massive expense that can completely torpedo a financial plan, unless you've built the income to handle it. A high-income skill buys you options. It buys you breathing room.
So, what's the actual playbook? The good news is it's surprisingly simple. It really boils down to 3 steps. Step 1, focus on increasing your earning power. Develop valuable skills. Step 2, use that new cash flow to clean house. Pay off high-interest debt and build a solid financial foundation. And step 3, put your money to work for you. Invest consistently and let the magic of compounding do the heavy lifting.
Look, the bottom line is this. The world is going to keep changing. Money's going to get weirder. AI is going to get smarter. You can't predict every twist and turn, but what you can do is build your ability to adapt. And in this new economy, adaptability, that is the real currency.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In a world of digital dollars and AI teammates, where your colleague might be an algorithm, what is your single most valuable asset?